మరి మీరు జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండండి, మాస్క్స్ అవి వేసుకుని, ఎందుకంటే ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుంచి వస్తారు తెలియదు కదా.
Hari Om Nana ji.
Hari Om Talli. Now, who is doing the 5th chapter today?
There is no one who is committed. I will do the 5th chapter, Nana.
Okay, or you skip that. I will do that.
No, you gonna talk after that. No, let me do this. I will do it. You can get started, Nana.
Look for any
I'll just mute
volunteer.
everyone. Okay, Nimsha, Nana, I'll just mute everyone.
Okay.
And then you please unmute yourself.
Okay.
You can get started, Nana. Nana, మీరు unmute చేసుకోవాలి మీరు.
Brahmaraji, if Nana ji is not, I mean, if I can chant.
You want to chant chapter 5?
Yeah, I have not practiced. I can.
Okay. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Yeah, Balaji, you can start the Gita chanting.
Yes, Nana ji. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Atha Panchamodhyayah. Arjuna Uvacha. Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna. Punaryogam cha shamsasi. Yachreya etayorekam. Tanme bruhi sunishitam. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogasya Nishreya Sakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate Gneya Gneya Nitya Sannyasi Yo Nadvena Kankshati निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते सांख्य योगौ पृथक् बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः सम्यक् एकमप्यस्थितः सम्यक् गुभर्योर्विन्दते फलम्. I think little down, Brahmaraji. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tadyogayrapi gamyate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha ya pashyati sa pashyati sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptuma yogatah yoga yukto munir brahma नचीरेणाधिगच्छति. योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्य शृण्वन् पश्यं शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् गच्छन् स्वरूपं श्वसन्. Am I correct?
शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन्.
पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अशस्वन् गच्छस्व.
No, not like that. It should be Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprushan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shwasan. Pralapan, Vishrujan, Grunnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi.
अस्तु. पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्रन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णुन् निमिषन्नपि. Kindly correct if there is mistake, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It should read Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. Unmishan, Nimishan, both the opposites.
Pralan, Vishrun, Gruhan, Unmishin, Nimishan, Napi. Indriyartheshu Vartanta iti dharayan Brahmanyadhyaya karmani Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha Lipyate na sapapena Padmapatramivambasa Kayena manasa buddhya Kevalairindriyairapi Yogina karma kurvanti sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye. A little down. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naishchikim. Ayukta kamakarena phale sakto nibadhyate. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे हि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन् न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं येषां नाशितं तमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परं तद्बुद्ध्यस्त
No, no, Hari Om. Tadbuddhayaha, tadatmanaha, tannishtaha, tatparayanaha.
तद्बुद्धया आत्मानः तन्निष्ठा तत्परायणाः. Was it correct, Nanaji?
Correct.
गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव श्वपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिनः इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः न प्रह्यस्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नो द्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्रियं स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दयात्मनि यत्सुखं स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखम् अक्षयमश्नुते ये हि स्पर्शजा भोगा ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा.
Hari Om. The 21st verse. Bahya sparshe svasaktatma vindati atmaniyat sukham sabrahma yoga yuktatma sukhamakshaya masnute. This 22nd verse. Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha.
Astu, okay.
Continue, please.
Yeah. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः. शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुं प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात् कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगं स युक्त स सुखी नरः योऽन्तसुखोऽन्तरारामस्तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं मृषय क्षीणकल्मषाः. छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः कामक्रोधवियुक्तानां यतीनां चेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं वर्तते विदितात्मनां स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यांश चक्षुष्वैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमनो बुद्धिः मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे
कर्म संन्यास योगो नाम
योग नामः पंचमोऽध्यायः। अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अनाश्रितकर्मफलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः। श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु। धन्यवाद नाना जी।
Thank you. Brahmara, I will take over now.
Yeah, you want to do chapter 6 or we go to chapter 18?
Chapter 18.
Okay.
We will better skip chapter 6 for today.
Okay.
Same thing with 9 and 10 also. 9 is less than 40. But about 35, 34, 35. We will stop there.
Okay. Do you want me to chant a few shlokas of chapter 18?
No, not required.
Okay. Are you all able to see
अथ
the share screen?
अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुं त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन। श्रीभगवानुवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं संन्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुत्यागं विचक्षणाः चाद्यं दोषवदित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यमिति चापरे। निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविधः सम्प्रकीर्तितः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम् नियतस्य तु संन्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः दुःखमित्येव यत्कर्म कायक्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् सकृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत् कार्यमित्येव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव सत्यागः सात्विको मतः न द्वेष्ट्यकुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागे सत्त्वसमाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः. We'll stop here. Yeah, we can go to the first verse or so. Any doubts? If no doubts at all, I would like to go to what Brahmara was requesting yesterday. That Vamanavatara shlokas. Yeah, I could get hold of them. Okay, there are two verses. That Vamanavatara, I don't know whether all of you are aware of that. Vamanavatara. The import of the avatara is to, as to admonish Bali Chakravarti, and in the process, Vamana assumes huge proportions. He will as though exceed himself, and he becomes Anantaha. That is the Vamanavatara. Okay? And he comes as a small Votuvu, as a small brahmachari, as a small Brahmana Kumara who was just then initiated into Gayatri Mantra. He is all in all about 2.5 feet high. And that little fellow, Vamana, he comes to Bali Chakravarti. And Bali Chakravarti is in the process of giving dana to everybody, whatever they ask, he was giving. And Bali Chakravarti asks him, what do you want? And those are beautiful verses. What do you want? Okay. Then Bali Chakravarti says, if you can please give me that space occupied by 3 of my feet, that is good enough for me. Bali Chakravarti protests, you are insulting me, O Brahmachari. You have come to an emperor and asking for just 3 feet of land, and that is very unfair on your part. You are insulting me. Then Bali says, the Vamana says, Vishnu in Vamana Rupa, he says, if you can give this to me, that is Brahmandam. If you can give this to me, that is more than adequate for me. And then Bali Chakravarti gives. In between, Shukracharya intervenes and advises Bali Chakravarti not to give this danam, saying this little fellow is none other than Vishnu, and he will assume huge proportions, and he will send you to the nether world. Bali Chakravarti says, I have given my word and I have to keep my word. There is no question of my going back. That is how he gives the danam of 3 feet. Okay? The 3 feet danam he will give. Now, after the danam is given, Vamana occupies the entire earth with 1 foot, 1 foot of his, and then he keeps on growing. When he keeps on growing and occupies the entire visible jagat, okay? Then Vamana asks Bali Chakravarti, where do you give me the 3rd foot? Then Bali Chakravarti relents and says, put it on my head. And Vamana puts it on his head and sends him to the Patala Loka and makes him the emperor there and assures him that he will be his gatekeeper also, that no harm will befall him. That kind of a blessing he will give. But in the process, Vamana keeps on growing. There are 2 verses in the Andhra Mahabhagavatam, which Bhammira Pothanacharya has expertly described, which I thought I will let you know. That's what Brahmara was asking. The first verse is how he was growing. Okay, it is simply poetic. Intintai vatudintai maryutanintai nabho vidhipainantai toyadamandaлагramunakallantai prabharashipainantai chandrunikantai ध्रुवनिपैनन्tai महर्वाटिपैनन्tai सत्यपदोन्नतुण्डगुचु ब्रह्माण्डन्त सम्बद्धियै. The meaning of this, intintai vatudintai, he was just a little fellow, 2.5 feet. Suddenly he has grown to some 7 or 8 feet. And then 7 or 8 feet has got to some 110 feet. And 110 feet has gone to some 3,000 feet, like that. Then Nabho Vidhipainante, he has gone up to the firmament. Thoyada Mandalagramuna Kallantai, he has exceeded the Megha Mandala. Thoyada means, Thoya means water. Thoyada Mandalagram. Thoyada means, Da means the giver, water giver. That Mandala, that is the Megha Mandala. Toyada Mandalagramana Kallante. He has gone to the topmost Megha Mandala. Prabharashi Payanante. Prabharashi Payanante. This is Prabharashi is the galaxy. Prabharashi. Prabha is all the nakshatras are Prabhas, like the sun. Prabharashi, the conglomerate of all the brilliant stars. Prabharashi, that is the Milky Way. Okay, that is the Milky Way. Prabharashi Payanante. He has exceeded that. Chandrunikantaye, he has exceeded the moon. Before the Prabharashi, he has exceeded the moon. But this is a poetic way of giving Chandra a little later. That gives some kind of a sonorous approach in chanting. Chandrunikantaye, Dhruvani Payanantaye. Dhruva is the North Pole star. He has exceeded even the North Pole star. Maharvati Payanantaye. He has gone to the Maharvati. Satyapadonnatundakuchu. He has gone even to the Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Brahmandanta Samvadhiye. He has filled all the Brahmanda, complete Brahmanda. He has completely filled it up. That is how. And in making us realize how huge he has become, Patanacharya gives a beautiful simile. He takes the sun as the jewel, sun as a jewel, as a brilliant jewel. And when Vamana was expanding, initially how Ravi was, how the sun was, and as Vamana started expanding, what became of that Ravi? That is beautifully sung in another verse. Ravi bimbam bupamimpa Patramaguchatrambai Shiroratnamai Shravanalankruti Galabharanamai Sauvarnakeyoramai Chevimat Kankanamai Katistalin Udanchat Gantayai Nupura Pravarambai Padapithamai Vatudu Ta Brahmandamunninduchon. This the Surya Bimba, and it is equated to a kind of a jewel. And initially the jewel was as though like the umbrella for the Vatu, for the little Vatu who is growing, is not grown fully yet. It has become his umbrella. And as he went on growing, it has become the jewel in his Abharanam on the head. Shiro Ratnamai. Then afterwards, when he went on further expanding, then it has become Shravanat Kundalamai. It has become the Kundala for the Shravana. It has become the ear jewel. Okay. Then it has become Kanta Bharanamai. In the necklace you wear some precious jewel in the center, isn't it? And it has become that. And what is all this that has become? It is the Surya. Surya has as though become the jewel in his Kanta. And imagine how big Vamana ought to have been at that time to conform to this description. The Lord Surya, who is so many thousands of miles across in diameter, okay? The earth itself is very huge, and he is some 300 times as big as the earth. And that has become 300 or 1,000 times bigger. That has become as though the jewel in the Kantabharanam for Vamana. And then later on, it has become Sauvarnakeyoramai. It has become the Bhujakirti, what adorns the biceps. It has become the jewel in that Abharanam. Then later on, finally, it has become the Padapitam. It has become as though the Pita on which the Vamana has landed his feet. In that, it has become as though the jewel. Which has become the jewel? The sun has become the jewel. This is a beautiful description. I could not get this. Somehow I could get this through Google only. That's how I read it out to you. Now, before we go on to our Pachyamsha, a couple of things I thought I'll tell you. The title of this chapter is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. One Mahatma has said this Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, it should be understood to be Mokshasya Sannyasa Yoga. Mokshasya means for the sake of moksha, Sannyasa Yoga. The sannyasa of the samsara will have to be done. Another person has suggested, yeah, mokshasya sannyasa yoga or mokshaya sannyasa yoga. Mokshaya, for the sake of moksha, this sannyasa yoga, that is what is mentioned. Then Shraddha is very, very important, is mentioned. How the Shraddha is very important is in the 17th chapter, Bhagavan has mentioned Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. In the 17th chapter, in the first verse or second verse, I think, he has mentioned that. What does it mean? Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. What does that mean? The meaning is Sattvanurupa means Visishta. Sattva Anurupa means it's not the Sattva Guna. Sattva Anurupa is Vishishta, Samsaropeta, Antakarana Rupa. Vishishta, it is distinct and very unique. Person to person, it varies. Vishishta, Samsaropeta. Okay, Samsaropeta Samskara, that's the meaning. Okay, earlier in the Purva Janma, your samsaras and the Janita Samskaras, that Janita Samskara Upeta Antakarana Rupa, your inner equipment, Antakarana, how it is nicely polished or it is smeared, both ways it applies. Visishta Samsara Samskaropeta Antakarana Rupa, that is it. And that is the Shraddha. It depends on with what you were born. And based on that, your Shraddha, whether it is Sattvika Shraddha, Rajasika Shraddha, or Tamasic Shraddha, will be dictated. You can make an improvement on that using your Purushartha, your Prayatnam. Your Yatnam must be very, 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 very important, is very important. The Yatnam is very important. With that only you can alter a little of your that samskara janita antakarana. Okay. Then you will have to understand one thing. This Shraddha is driven by Bhagavan in almost all the chapters of the Gita. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatpara samyatendriyaha ashraddhadhana purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mruchu samsara vatmane. Though so the Shraddha is very important. See, all of you have got a lot of Shraddha. Because of that only, you have been attending the Zoom classes day in and day out for the past about 9 or 10 months. It's not an easy thing. Unless the Shraddha is there, unless the Shraddha is the Swatvika Swabhava Shraddha, it is simply not possible. Without Shraddha, you will simply give up. It's like you're trying to do your homework when you were a student of mathematics. And when you were doing that, some tough problem, you could not solve that. And simply you close the book and slept off. That is poor Shraddha. If you are endowed with good Sattvika Shraddha, you will skip that problem, go to having the completion of homework in your mind as the uppermost task. You will go to the next problem, complete that, etc., etc. Then finally come back to this unsolved problem, and you will be perhaps in a position to solve that also. That is the Sattvika Shraddha. You should not get disgusted. If you get disgusted, that becomes a Rajasika Shraddha. So Rajasika Shraddha will not help you. So endowed with the Sattvika Shraddha, what we need to do, Sattvika Shraddha should drive you to proper Karma Yoga Anushtana. And that proper Karma Yoga Anushtana will ensure Sattva Shuddhi. And that will be a clean instrument for Jnana to take place, Atma Jnana to take place. And afterwards, sannyasam of the samsara, the notion that you are a samsari, to be given up, it becomes a cakewalk. It becomes very easy. And with that, moksha siddhyati, that is to be understood cleanly. Next, I was telling you, this 18th chapter covers a lot of topics like Tyaga, Jnanam, Karma, Katta, Buddhi, Dhruti, Sukham. And I also mentioned the 14th and 17th chapters also cover a few of these qualities. Not all these qualities as mentioned in the 18th chapter, but other equally important and related qualities. Can we get to the 14th chapter, Brahmara?
You want the yes, Nana?
No. I have got the text with me. I can chant from my text. But
Okay.
for the benefit of people who see as a chant,
Okay.
for them, yeah.
You want only the shlokas, Dada?
Only the slokas, yes.
Okay, just give me a
14th
minute.
and 17th.
Okay. Do you want me to chant?
No,
Or you
there's
will chant?
not much to chant. Open 14th chapter
Yeah.
and go to the 6th verse. I want to cover quickly 6, 7, 8, 9 and 11 through 18. These we have covered. People will realize what the essence of the slokas will be.
You can see the verses?
No, I can't.
Can anybody else see the verses?
Yeah,
I
we can see the screen.
I can see, sorry.
Yeah.
No, while chanting this Vamana Avatara slokas, I as though exited from the Zoom meeting projection, which I returned to. Yeah.
Okay.
Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. That is the Sattvika Shraddha will be like this. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. Sattvam is Sattvika Shraddha. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. Here in this 14th chapter, it is not as though Shraddha that is talked of, it is the guna that is talked of. Okay? Sattvika guna, Sattvika Shraddha. And this Sattvika guna only drives the Sattvika Shraddha. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanayam. Sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena janaga. I am not going into the tatparyas of this with the request that you people kindly refresh the tatparya yourself by your swadhyaya. Sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena janaga. And the import is what? It will bind you towards the jnana, bind you towards comfort, sukha. You will not undertake anything for dukkha. Rajo rakatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tanni badhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. That is what I was mentioning yesterday. The 14th and 17th, they talk of things like bandham, what is vyaktam, and what is the Antakala Guna that you need to have to be in a position to attain to good lokas, and what is the Palam, all those things. And regarding the 17th chapter, the Aharas, the Pravrutti, the Tapaha, the Danam, etc. Now, Rajo Ragatmakam is over. Tamastvajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabihi tannibadhnati bharata. That is how this tamoguna will bind persons. Okay, the 9th verse says, Sattvam sukhe sanjayuti. Sattvam will take you towards attachment to sukha, to comfort. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bharata. Rajaha, rajoguna, you will be always goaded into some kind of activity. You will be like the train piston, always working. Keeps on beating. Jnanamavrityuta tamaha pramade sanjayachyuta. This is the quality of tamasaha. Jnanamavrityuta tamaha. Okay. Then 11th verse. Sarvadvareshu dehe asmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattvamichyuta. If it is evident that this fellow is very brilliant, very talking nicely, very logically, there is nothing that what he said can be refuted. My God, what a speech, what points he has covered, etc. That you really acknowledge, understand that Sattva-guna is manifest in him at that time. Lobaha pravrittirārambaha karmana mashamaspruha rajasyetani jayante vivruddhe bharatarshava. The opposite is true regarding the rajoguna. Aprakasho apravrittisya pramado mohayevacha tamasyetani jayante vivruddhe kurunandana. Next verse, please. Yeah. Yada sattve pravruddhe tu pralayam yati dehabrit. When sattva guna is on the ascendancy, and if you meet with death, tada, what happens to you? Tada uttama vidam lokan amalan pratipajyate. You will go to uttama lokas, okay? And they are without any spot of dirt, that kind of a thing. That means what? There is no anxiety for you at all. There are no conflicting sequences which will upset you. That kind of a loka you will gain when your sattva-guna is on the ascendancy and you happen to kick the bucket. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha pralinamastamasi mudhayonishu jayate. That the two also are given. Karmana sukritasyapuhu sattvikam nirmalam phalam. The phalam of these. Karmanaha sukritasyapuhu sattvikam. For a good activity that is done, sattvikam nirmalam phalam. With sattva-guna pradhana, if you do, then nirmalam is the phalam. Rajasastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tapasa phalam. Can you lift this? Roll it up. Yeah. Rajasastu phalam. No. Little down. Rajasastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tamasa phalam. Then sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobhayevacha pramada moho tamasaha bhavato ajnanamevacha. Then urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaghanya guna pravritta jaganya guna vrittistaha adho gachanti tamasaha. These are all the things which we have covered. You will have to do swajjaya daily. Bhagavad Gita kinchadadita Ganga jalalava kanika pita sakrudapi yena murari samatya kriyate tasya yamena nachetya bhaja govindam govindam bhaja modhamate. That we must conform to. Okay. Now we are reverting to 18th chapter. 18th chapter, the
You wanted to go to 17th?
7, 17th I have not covered. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Thank you. 17th, please. Sorry, thank you so much. 17th, we need to go to
You're muted, Nana.
yeah, third verse. As I was moving the cursor, it went there and got muted. Okay. Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Sattvanurupa, in accordance with the sattva. That sattva is not the sattva guna. The sattva is what is acquired by samskara anubhava samskarena. That samskara janita, purva janma samskara janita antakarana bhavaha. That sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Shraddha maya ayam purushaha. This person is all shraddha mayam. What shraddha? Tamasika, rajasika, or sattvika. Any one of these. He is mayam. He is completely enveloped by that shraddha. Shraddha mayoyam purushaha. Yo yachraddhasya eva saha. And that person, you can say, hey, that fellow, I don't think he will do it because he will promise and never has he kept any promise. That is a kind of shraddha he has got. You have analyzed him over a number of instances, and this is a conclusion you have drawn, and you can't be wrong. You can't be far wrong because shraddha mayoyam purushaha, yo yash shraddha. Whoever has that shraddha, sa eva saha. He is only like that. He is like that. Ah, that fellow is like that only. This is the wise people's confirmation. It is not some riffraff people saying this. Then yajante sattvika devan, sattvika purushaha, with the shraddha, sattvika shraddha, they yajante devan, they worship the devas. Yaksha rakshamse rajasaha, pretan bhutaganamscha anye yajante tamasa janaha. Then can we go to 8th verse, please? Yeah, good. Yeah, this is regarding the aharas. Ayu sattva bala rogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasyaha snigdhaha sthiraha hrudyaha ahara sattvika priyaha. Whereas rajasic guna people, shraddha people, they are interested in what kind of ahara? Katvam lalavanat chushnaha tikshna roksha vidahinaha ahara rajasa shreshta dukkha shoka amaya pradaha yatayamam gataras. This is regarding the rajasic people. Regarding the tamasic people, yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam cha amejyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Yamam is 3 hours. Yatayamam. After cooking, 3 hours have lapsed. Gatarasam, there is no essence in them. Puti, the Durganda Bhuyishtam, Paryushitam Cheta, it is already getting what? It is becoming like an acid. Puti Paryushitam Chayata, Uchishtam, what is left over. Cha Amedhyam, it is not cooked nicely, not so very soft to eat. Cha Amedhyam Bhojanam Tamasa Priyam. Then next verse. 10, no, 10, no, then go to 17th. Yeah. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi apalakankshibiryuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. That kind of a tapaha, satvikam parichakshate. Satkaramana pojardham tapo dambhena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam modhagrahenatmanaha yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyotsādhanārdham va tattama samudahrutam. Tattama samudahrutam. Next verse. Datavyamiti yaddanam. This is regarding the three types of dhanam. Three types of people who do the dhanam. Datavyamiti yaddanam. Diyate anupakarine. Deshe kale cha patre cha. Taddanam satvikam smrutam. Yattu pratyupakarardam. Phalamuddishya va punaha. Diyate cha pariklishtam. Taddanam rajasam smrutam. Adesha kale yaddanam. Apatrebhyascha diyate asatkrutam avajnatam tattama samudahurtam. These are the things I thought I will take you back for your benefit. You must not think that you have done Gita, it's over, 17th chapter is over. Now in another few days' time, 18th chapter is over. Over is what? What is that over? Has it gone into your head? It is most important. Did you assimilate the Tatparya of the Gita Shastra? Because Gita Shastra is not an ordinary Shastra. This is Sarva Vedanta Saraha Sangraha Bhutam Gita Shastram. Sarva Vedanta Sara Sangraha Bhutam. This is that. And that, if we forget the essence of that, if we don't memorize that, if we don't keep on contemplating that, do whatever activity you are in and have the thought of at least one Gita sloka backing your activity, that will be a blessing. That will be a tremendous blessing. And you will go to a situation where you simply don't care about death. You will simply will be waiting to embrace death as though. Why? Because when this body ends, you are going to get a new body. My God, I am fed up with this body. This is torn and this is dilapidated. This is shidhilam, apakshiyate, about to be vinashya. And this kind of a body I don't want. I want a new body, vibrant body. I want to be a baby in the lap of a mother. That kind of a thing. Gita will drive you to that kind of a thought. You will never fear death at all. Disease may come and go, but you will not be afflicted. You will do everything that is properly required. Aushadam, swikaru. You will do that, but not out of fear, but out of concern. Because as long as you live, you are living in the body. It is your duty to keep the body intact. Because his body is sarva khalu dharma sadhanam. Shariram, idam shariram, khalu dharma sadhanam. Whatever good you want to do, it is through the sharira. If the mind and intellect decide to do, the body must cooperate. For that, you must keep the body intact nicely. To that extent only is your attachment to the body, not beyond. If the body is disintegrating, you will not worry. With Gita as a support for you, you will be a very brave person. That is what is required. Okay?
But why would you want to gain another body if moksha is your purushartha?
Okay, moksha is the Purushartha. But
Then why
you
would
are,
you want to be born again as a baby?
no, because you for your own analysis, you will know whether you are qualified for moksha or not. You are getting prepared for moksha, not yet fully qualified. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihinaha yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati eva. If you are convinced that you don't fully conform to that, then you would better seek to be a small baby again and then keep on improving from then on. This everybody will know in himself, herself. It need not be taught to anybody. It is known. It is your gut feeling. you know you are not yet ready for that. That is how. Okay?
Okay.
Now, Arjuna Vamacha, Sanyasasya Mahabaho Tattvamichhami Meditum Tyagasya cha Prashikesha Pradhakeshani Shodhana. These two I want to know about very clearly, the tattva of these two, the truth of this, the sannyasa and the tyaga. You have been using this very, very freely, Kitaya. But the freedom you please curtail, and for my benefit, you give me what is tyaga and what is sannyasa truly for my benefit. Then Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Kamyanam karmanam yasam Sanyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma palatyagam prahutyagam vichakshanaha. Now this prahutyagam vichakshanaha kavayoho, all these people, who are these? These are all great pandits. These are not ordinary people. They are not like you and I. They are well read and they had mastered the Shastras, the Upanishads, the Veda Vakyas, everything. And regarding the Vedas, there are two types of Mimamsa. One is a Purva Mimamsa and another is called Uttar Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa generally caters to the Karma Kanda. The Purva Mimamsa, there is a big grantha that came up. The Rishi who has authored that grantha is none other than one of Vyasa Maharshi's disciples, Jaimini. Jaimini is the author of the Purva Mimamsa, that text. Uttara Mimamsa means the other half of the Vedas. That is, the other half means the Vedanta Shastra. That Mimamsa, that kind of a discussion, that dialogue on that, the dissection, all those things very cleanly done. And that is done by Paila, I believe. And Paila happens to be another Shishya of Vyada Vyasa. So Uttara Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, these people have done immense work on this. And those, they suggested texts for the evolving students of Veda and Vedanta also. Those are the people who are saying Kavayo Viduhu Vichakshanaha. It's not ordinary people. All these people are mostly the Uttara Mimamsa people who have done extensive study of all the Upanishads, and the Upanishad Saram they have imbibed, and because of that they are saying this. So you can't simply dismiss what they are saying. It's not as though it's an opinion of some passerby. It's not an opinion of a politician. It's an opinion of Kavayaha and Vichakshanaha. Okay? Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam iti Kavayaha viduhu sarva karma palatyagam, because sarva karma palatyagam prahutyagam vichakshanaha. Why are they saying every karma will have to be given up? Sarva karma palatyagam. Sarva karma palatyagam. See here, not karma tyagam. Karma palatyagam. Why sarva karma palatyagam? Because that is the way for karma yoga to fructify. That is the only way for karma yoga to fructify. And with that, you will have a very clean slate in your mind. That is a beautiful mirror for the pratibimba of jnana to take place, and that will be your blessing, and that is what you are seeking. From that point of view, this vichakshanaha, they say that. In the third verse, Bhagavan is going to say, can you go to the third verse? Will you just open that?
Going back to the second verse,
Yes.
it seems as though Tyaga is superior to Sannyasa.
No.
Kanyasa is only kamyanam karmanam nyasam, whereas tyaga is sarva karma phala tyaga.
No, this is not Bhagavan's mata. It's not Bhagavan's opinion.
This is the
Kavayaha
vidu and vichakshana.
Kavayaha viduhu. Kavayaha say, I am not saying that, but I am respecting what they are saying. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Because
He's
they are
only
all
quoting them.
exactly, they are all very well read and very evolved souls and very, very knowledgeable, very venerable. They did have a lot of ashramas, lot of disciples came out of those ashramas, and all those things are very well respected in the society. But it's not my opinion. My opinion I am yet to give. That is what Kettaya has not yet given his opinion. He is a very careful guy. See? Now see here, the third verse says what? Third verse. Chadyam doshavadityeke karma prahur manishinaha. Manishinaha, people who have a lot of discrimination, people who are very, very wise. Manishinaha are very wise people. Chadyam is to be given up. It's not chagam, chadyam. It's not karma phala tyagam. Chadyam doshavat. Doshavat sarva karma. Chadyam. Entire all karmas will have to be given up. That is one meaning. Then karma doshavat tyagam. Karma, it is doshavat. It is doshavat. It's like even dosha. It is defective. Why is it defective? Any karma, whether you do, good karma or bad karma, good karma will give you what? If you have done satkarma with sadbhavena, if you have done, you will get to punya. And who has done it? You have done it. Do you know you have done it? When you have known that you are the doer, that punya phala will simply come and get attached to you. It will come to you. You can't disown that. Punya will come to you. Okay? And that punya will be the reason for a birth. Maybe a better birth. Supposing you do the karma in a bad way, a bad karma you have done in a bad way. Papam apnoti, that papam also gets attached to you because you are the doya, you are the karta. So that is why sarva karmam doshavat chadyam iti some other people say. Yajnadana tapak karma na chadyam iti cha apare. Other people say, no, don't be in a hurry, don't give up everything. Yajnam danam tapak karma, these things should not be given up. Iti apare praho. Bhagavan will say what he intends saying tomorrow. Okay. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om everybody.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Nana.
Hari Om.